Alright, this is Bart in Highway Blues Guitars, and I am putting together a bunch of videos comparing my guitars. So each one I'm going to tell you a little bit about it and try to show why it may be different. So this one is a pretty big box that my mom painted about the legend of Los Ojos Verdes, about a phantom woman with green eyes that lures a fellow into a lake to his demise. It has a nice laminated headstock with all kinds of pretty contrasting woods. Most of my builds have a bone nut right here. And this one for the bridge has got a bolt encased in wood. And it's got a humbucker pickup that's painted over right here. It's got a volume knob and a control knob, and it also has two strap buttons for hanging your strap on there, so you don't have to sit and play it. And what I'm going to try to do with each one is to show different settings and different sounds, but I'll probably try to play the same thing. So have it set on a clean channel, and this one is tuned in the key of E. So E, B, E. So it's got pretty good sustain. That's a little Spanish. We can do some Christmas music. Now we'll go with some distortion. Back to clean, just so you can see the difference in G and E tuning. I'm going to take it up to a G. Okay, so that's one. We'll switch out for another one right here. This little box, a smaller box. It's really pretty. It has a piece of fret wire in the bridge. I always try to have my bridges be metal because that way I can ground them with a grounding wire so they don't hum. It has a small single coil pickup up here in the neck position. Again, a bone nut. This one has got an oak fretboard, red oak fretboard, and a poplar neck, and some contrasting hardwoods in the headstock. So see how that sounds when I'm playing with my fingers compared to a volume and tone knob. And we'll turn it onto a dirtier channel. And we'll see how the volume knob makes a difference with the dirty channel. Mellow there. Just a little more trebly there. So they sound on the clean channel like an acoustic guitar, just with a lot more sustain. You can hear how long that rings, or how the harmonics ring. Long time, right? Okay, we'll go to another one. This little travel guitar, same single coil pickup. It just has a volume knob on it, and still a red oak neck and contrasting hardwoods for the headstock. The unusual thing about this guitar is it's got a hinge here which allows it, when you loosen the strings, for it to fold into half, and that way it can fit under your seat as a personal item on the plane. You don't have to pay for it to be carry-on. It's a little dirty because I've played it so much. But don't let the size fool you. And if you're wondering how come they all sound about the same, it's because really a lot of the sound is dependent on the pickups, and most of these pickups are fairly similar. shield of a sword dyed in leather on the box, which is kind of unique. All right, let's go to the next one. This is a 4-string, and it has a Delta single coil pickup with the 4 magnets right there, and it has a wooden bridge and still a bone nut, and this headstock is pretty simple, just a scarf joint. I think that, and it's got a volume and tone knob. The 4th string, this one's in the key of G, but the 4th string is a B, so it's a full chord. So you can still bar. See how it just sounds a little bit more full? Show you the difference in playing Money for Nothing, just the intro, with clean and distortion. Very different, right? That's why I built this 4-string, for all that rock and roll that you can do. This one, I really have enjoyed playing it. You can tell with all the pick scratches that I've had here. Most of these I make for me and play them for months or a year, and then finally I get around to selling them. One of the first ones that I did with a laminated headstock, and so this one's a little bit longer than some of my other ones, but I think it's really pretty sound, and it's got a bone nut, and it's got a humbucker pickup down here. I didn't change the setting on the amp, so that's still a dirty channel. Go back to clean. favorite ones to play. I think it just works really well. It's got kind of a crazy flame on the sound hole cover. So is my 40th build. Now we're going to go up to the key of B flat. Although with thicker strings, this guitar could be tuned all the way down to an E. Really pretty Ramon Alanes box. It's very heavily lacquered, and so I thought it would contrast nicely to put a cream soap bar pickup in there. Still got a bone nut, contrasting wood on the headstock, but it's so smooth. And sustain. I'll turn it to a dirty channel. Got a volume and tone knob. It's a really pretty one. This guitar and I are old friends. Let's see. It's got some of my most expensive pickups in there. This is a pickup that came all the way from Austria, one of the original flat pup pickups. I've since started winding my own after I destroyed the second one of these I had by abusing it. But this one is great. It's an expensive pickup, and this one's a pretty expensive one too. It's got a hand burned feather on it. It's a beautiful single coil pickup. I usually don't put as expensive pickups in my guitars anymore. It's harder to get the money out of them. You know, this pickup's like $50, and this one's like $80 or something like that. It has volume and tone knob. It has also a treble bleed on the volume so that you get good sound at all positions of the volume knob. And it's stained with black. The neck is stained with black walnuts that I got from my sister's yard. And it's got a scarf joint, sealed tuners. And it's got a three-way switch that can go from one pickup or the other or both. So I'll show you the difference in the sounds of the single coil and the humbucker. So now I'll do the next one. So that's the humbucker, and I'll do it with a pick so you can hear it a little differently. See how mellow that sounds compared to that's a bit more spanky. So if that's single coil. So it's nice to be able to switch back and forth, or to do both of them at the same time. But this guitar just has great sound. I think it's kind of an ugly box, and it's had glue spilled on it and things like that. But I made it for me, and somebody said, you're doing it right if it hurts you to sell your guitars. And I would say it will hurt me to sell this one, because I've taken it to the Bahamas a couple of times, and it's just been out on a sailboat, and I've played on it so much. And it's also just got some pretty high-end components. Back to the single coil. Alright, so that's it for this video and these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guitars. Hope you like it.